Hi, so it's Gwen Atkinson again here with Let's Talk. And I have with me today Denise Blake, who has devoted her life to working with people, being of service, and particularly enabling them around change. Welcome Denise.
Hello, Gwen.
And she's very kindly allowed me to interview her. We were having a conversation the other night, and she said to me in the conversation, "So who am I now?" And this prompted this interview because I think this is a question that many of us, particularly women of our age, are asking ourselves now. So, Denise, when you asked that question of yourself, what do you think you were saying?
It's trying to make sense of my place in the world now. When you're growing up, people say, "What do you want to be?" And you go, "Oh, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a..." But never, they're never saying, "Who do you want to be?" So we spend our lives working all the time to achieve something, whether it's through schooling, through work, through sports, it doesn't really matter. That's what our aims are. And then we can either be, our other role is being a mother, being a daughter, being a sister, being an aunt, being a wife, all these roles that we have. And as time goes on, some of these start changing. We lose our parents. We're no longer a daughter. We lose our siblings, so we're no longer a sister. We lose, I'm saying lose, they die. You lose a husband. You're no longer a wife. All these things have happened to me, particularly over the last 10 years of my life. So I started, and then I was the mother. And what happened was that my mother role changed because of my child's circumstances changing. So I no longer have that particular role. I'm not working full time. I'm semi-retired. So who am I now? What is my role? And that's the thing that I think, not just I, but a lot of people are asking themselves. Yeah. I think that's it, really. Yeah.
So within this, there's like a quandary. It's also an opportunity. There's a sadness around it because there's a confusion and a loss.
Yeah.
But there's also the opportunity to actually create a new role for yourself. But what I'm experiencing and what I'm seeing is that a lot of women don't know what that is or how to go about it or how to explore the possibilities. A lot of women are feeling, "Oh, I'm too old," or "I don't have the skills," or "I haven't got the confidence." And you're at that stage yourself, aren't you? You're feeling, how can I find out what it is I want to do and am meant to do at this stage?
Yes, because there's a sense of being invisible.
And
I'm not talking about going out there and creating a wild scene anywhere. It's just that sense of gathering the powers together. This journey that we're on, instead of trying to do, it's like, okay, can we be something? Be something in ourselves. And it's a struggle because where do you turn? There's so many choices out there. But you know that you've got another so many years left, or at least you've got today left. So, you've got we hope we've got the today left. Yeah. But you've got that, and it's like, how are you going to do that? How do you live in that moment, in that time? And there are lots and lots of possibilities, and there's a huge amount of choice out there, which can be confusing when your energy is depleted somewhat as well. It's quite hard. So I suppose what I'm feeling is what you're doing is giving the opportunity for a focus. And that's what I do in my work in a different way. And yet I've still got to do it for myself.
Yes.
I have to get up every morning and say, right, this is me, this is who I am. I will, and I meditate on that, because meditation is really the only way. I feel that at least it gives some sense of boundaries, which I've spoken about in the past. It's that sense of we need those boundaries in order to help us focus and to be.
Could you, because I think that's a really helpful hint, because what we're here today to do is to share and talk about these things, but to also provide a little bit of value or advice around how people might be able to work with this. So you've mentioned meditation. Can you say a little bit about how meditation might help somebody just to sit with this point of change in their lives?
Yeah, and meditation can, everybody gets a bit fearful about it and sort of thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's really just sitting and breathing, and you start with the breathing in and breathing out. And if you concentrate on that, you cannot think about anything else. And you learn to find a stillness inside you. And it's that stillness, that chance to be away from the constant chatter that's going on in our minds all the time, and those requirements that we have. Oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to, whatever it is that you need to do. If you give yourself a stillness, it allows you the opportunity to just be in the moment quietly before you do everything else. And it gives you also the opportunity that when things start becoming a bit hectic in your life or in your day even, you can just stop. And it doesn't have to be an hour's meditation. It can be 14 seconds. It can be 21 seconds. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is just allowing yourself time out.
Yeah. And you've just started a practice. Denise has just started a practice this morning, and it's going to be a 21-day practice, and it's with Deepak Chopra, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And it's about finding
your destiny.
Finding your destiny.
Yeah.
How appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the other thing that what I heard my friend Denise just say there was taking time for you. And that sounds to me like self-care.
Yes.
Self-love.
Yes.
And that's what an awful lot of us as women have almost forgotten how to do it. Or it's not maybe that we've forgotten, but we've just maybe stopped doing it. But that's a really important message as well, isn't it?
Yes, I agree, because we spend our lives helping other people in our different roles. And we forget that actually in order to do that, we have to give ourselves energy and food. So by nurturing ourselves, then we're able to start giving out again. So that's very, very important.
So I'm really pleased with Denise, pleased with her. I'm really grateful to her for coming and speaking. Have we got a final parting message, do you think?
I think just maybe it is about we have to take care of ourselves and in order to find out what we need to do in the next part of our lives.
And I'd agree with that. I think what I would add to that is, for me, I went into meltdown at 60, turning 60. But since working on that and not giving up, not being invisible, feeling that I still had work to do, it's the best thing I ever did. So don't give up on yourself as an older woman. There are still choices out there for you. So thanks for being with us today, and thank you to my wonderful friend Denise.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you.
And much love and blessings.